Hello, everyone. Thank you for coming to stage one, and welcome to our talk on why SAP and Sovereignty with Google Cloud. So I'm Felix Lecuyer. I'm a customer engineer at Google Cloud, specialist for Sovereign Cloud, and I'm with Jessica.
Yes, hi everyone. Thanks for being here. I'm Jessica Tischberek. I'm also in customer engineering. We are specialists for SAP on Google Cloud, but also all the integrations into our portfolio. And I'm based out of Munich. And happy to talk you through some of the topics today. So let's look at what we will be going through. First, we'll talk a little bit about what we at Google do with Google Cloud. Then we'll go a little bit deeper into what our partnership with SAP is all about, and what kind of the details here are. And then my colleague Felix will come to everything about sovereignty and EU access and how you can accomplish this. And after that, we can have a short Q&A as well. So let's start in what are we doing as Google Cloud and how can we help you? How are we helping customers together with our partners? Our customers are on their cloud journey since a few years already now, and we offer a complete end-to-end portfolio to cover all specifics that IT workloads and also IT organizations need to fulfill. So first, starting in kind of the modern infrastructure cloud, so depending on what kind of workloads you have, we have a broad portfolio here. Also many of the SAP topics come into this kind of area. I would cluster them into this area when we talk about infrastructure. But then what is really important to bring your end-to-end data journey all together, so connecting all the different systems you have. And for that, we deliver a whole data platform, then leveraging on top of that our whole AI platform that you can then use and create the newest insights or newest solutions. After that, we also have the collaboration cloud. So you might know Google Workspace, or you might know it from your personal life with kind of Gmail, Drive, etc. So we also have it for enterprises, right? So that's Google Workspace. And then what is most important besides AI nowadays, what we see in our discussions with customers, is security. That's one of the biggest priorities. And here we have a very powerful portfolio, where we can also go deeper into this. And definitely sovereignty is also a really important part of that, with data sovereignty and data residency that we will talk a little bit later as well. And then what is special about Google Cloud? All of these solutions that we offer in this portfolio, they are based on our innovative stack that is fueled by AI solutions. I will come to this in a second. And what is important for all of us nowadays is to drive sustainability and become carbon neutral or even carbon free, right? So we, as Google Cloud, are carbon neutral since 2007 and will be carbon free by 2030. And leveraging the solutions, building up your modern enterprise, you will leverage the whole stack here. What do we mean by AI innovation? We will come a little bit closer to this. Why is this going to the next? Ah, those slides are gone. OK, that's interesting. But then let me just talk you through a little bit what AI innovation is, like really kind of the content of Google Cloud. So we are a leader in many aspects of the AI area currently, so for large language models, but also with our AI infrastructure. We have a very, very strong open source culture. Many open source technologies that are leading open source technologies come from Google. So for example, TensorFlow is a big AI framework that is available, founded by Google and then given to the open source community a few years ago. The same is with Kubernetes, also one invention that we made for our internal reasons and gave it as an open source to the community. The same is now the truth with transformers. Not sure if any one of you heard of transformers, but large language models are based on transformers. That's kind of the ground technology of large language models that we all use in Gen AI solutions nowadays. And transformers also had been developed and invented, like kind of so the papers had been published by Google, also given to the open source community. So that's kind of the strength in the AI portfolio that really is leveraging as well what we're doing together with SAP, and that's what we're coming to now. So we are together in a partnership with SAP since 2017. back in the year, so the last 7 years, many customers looked into how to migrate SAP workloads into the public cloud. So it was more or less about infrastructure. But since last year, 1 year ago exactly, during Sapphire 2023, our cloud CEO, Thomas Kurian, and SAP's CEO, Christian Klein, they announced our extension of the partnership that is exclusive between SAP and Google Cloud. And here we are cooperating in a whole area of data and AI to make it easier for customers to connect SAP and also non-SAP data worlds, bring this together on a data platform to then use the AI and Gen AI capabilities of both worlds. And that's what we're strongly working together since last year, but also we had some announcements just last week and 2 weeks ago at Sapphire Orlando and Barcelona. Maybe to summarize a little bit on why customers should be looking into Google Cloud in general, from a TCO perspective, depending on how you build up your SAP landscape and also your newest data platform, you can gain a lot of TCO kind of decreases, so that whole total cost of ownership, you can have savings here. And there are really good reports as well by IDC that we can send to you as well. Second layer, infrastructure. From an infrastructure perspective, we deliver the highest SLA in the industry, so in the hyperscaler market, on single instance machines, which is especially for those large HANA systems really, really important. And then, as I already talked about, the whole data and AI partnership with SAP is a strong fundamental as well on where a lot of customers are innovating in this area. And why SAP chose us will come on to the next slide. We talked about sustainability already as well, and that we are really pushing the open source world. We love the culture of open source, but also multi-cloud. We're one of the first hyperscalers that were developing to make it easy for customers to operate multi-cloud scenarios. And multi-cloud is, for many companies, the reality, and will also be the reality in the future, to have choice and also diversify specific workloads. Plus, high security is really kind of also a component that matters to us to deliver the most secure services, and we'll have a little bit later on this as well. So why did SAP chose us for the data and AI partnership? We as Google, as you might know, also many of our services already from your private life, like YouTube or Google Maps, or also Google Ads. Those are kind of the solutions that bring a lot of value with their data that you as a customer can leverage to get end-to-end insights from your enterprise data. Enterprise data can be like SAP or Salesforce or anything else where different parts of your business processes are residing. You need to bring all of this together to really leverage and build innovative use cases with AI and Gen AI on top. And that's where our platform comes into play as well. We also partner with SNP, for example, for SNP Glue. And that's definitely one part that many customers are achieving currently with this platform, bringing all the different non-SAP and SAP data and enterprise data worlds together. So how can customers then also unlock this? We will just, oh yeah, I just see, sorry for that. So the slides are a little bit mixed up. But this was, maybe I will just come back to it as I just talked about it a little bit earlier. So we talked about kind of the software leadership with regards to open source, but also our kind of research and all the papers that we developed. So we're also large language models are based on transformers. That's what I talked about a little bit earlier. And the AI apps that we are operating at scale, many of you already know. Gmail, Drive, but also Maps, YouTube, Chrome, all of that we had been building in the last years that already been leveraging a lot of AI. And that's where we have this kind of infrastructure leadership as well. We are the only hyperscaler offering, besides CPUs and GPUs, tensor processing units. Tensor processor units are kind of very optimized to run those large-scale neural networks with kind of really high performance. And many of our customers are doing this, and they are going the way. Like, may it either be bringing your workloads onto the Google Cloud, either just directly your SAP workloads or with the new RISE mechanism. So the RISE contracts with SAP. We also have customers already operating with RISE on Google Cloud. And yeah, besides of that, many of them are integrating their data into BigQuery, our enterprise data warehouse, and building new innovative use cases on top of that. Yesterday, we heard from Hunkemöller on the same stage that they are also leveraging the Google Cloud with BigQuery and our Vertex AI platform to build kind of the best use cases to gain the best insights about their customers. And for that, they are also using SAP Glue. So that's one customer example. Another one that I want to deep dive here on this part is PayPal. They have one of the most complex S4HANA systems that is out there in our world. They are running an S4HANA financial subledger in a scale-out mode. It's 96 terabytes, 8 times 12 terabytes, so it's one of the most complex ones, and they are already customer with us since quite a long time. A little bit deeper is something that I want to talk to you about is Siemens Energy. Also a customer of ours since several years now. They are going a hybrid approach with their SAP workload, migrating their current ECC on HANA, some ECC is still on Oracle, directly onto Google Cloud. But with the newest rollouts, they are leveraging S4HANA within the RISE construct of SAP. And that's also running on Google Cloud. So that's a very specific one. So all the innovative use cases, especially in the supply chain area, they are building up with their RISE tenant, with the newest S4HANA stack. Everything else is then residing on Google Cloud until they will modernize all the other ECC systems and the country rollouts. So that's an interesting case as well. And yeah, that was it about the deep dive of our SAP partnership. Now let's have a look on deeper security topics and sovereignty topics by Felix.
Thank you so much. And yes, let me double click on our sovereignty capabilities that we have at Google Cloud and how they can benefit for your SAP workloads on Google Cloud, right? So yes, first, why sovereignty? Or why do we have a sovereignty approach at Google Cloud? It's because we noticed, especially in the last years, that there is a high demand for sovereignty in the market, right? We've seen that a lot of customers would like to move their workloads to the cloud, keeping them on-premise in suboptimal platforms, just because they had the fear or they had sovereignty requirements or the fear that they could not approach or they could not use the cloud. So as Google Cloud, we wanted to actually give a solution also to those customers that had those sovereignty requirements and that could not use the standard normal public cloud, right? But just before coming into the solution, just about why or what are those sovereignty requirements, right? We see that the reasons why why customers are keeping their workloads on-premise is because they have the fear that they cannot comply with regulation, right? They have also the fear that the regulation may change, and we have seen that with, for example, GDPR and Schrems 1, Schrems 2. A lot of people speak about maybe Schrems 3 sometimes, and so they want to be ready in case of a Schrems 3 arrives, right? So that's one thing. And another reason we also see a lot is, well, geopolitical risk, right? We've seen that with the war between Russia and the Ukraine. Well, we don't know what the future looks like, and we want to be ready in case there is a major change in economic relationships with, for example, the US, right? So what we did at Google Cloud is we came up with a vision about what is sovereignty for us, what is the definition of sovereignty, so to say, right? To inform then our strategy and build some products to address the sovereignty requirements of our customers. So this vision is on the right part of the slide, and we came up with 3 pillars. So for us, sovereignty can be broken down into first data sovereignty, meaning having the control. As a customer, like as running a workload, I need to have the control over where my data is located, who has access to my data, how it's encrypted, right? The second pillar we identified is operational sovereignty. And this means who is operating my landscape, my environment? Can I control this? Do I have visibility over this? right? And the third pillar that we came up with is software sovereignty. And this is also what we call survivability, or the ability to have business continuity even in case of major unforeseen events, right? Could it be a geopolitical event, a disaster? Yeah, many things that could happen, right? So, and we are building a portfolio of sovereign options on Google Cloud to address those different types of requirements. Now, what we see with our SAP customers is that they often have the requirements that is spanning between data sovereignty and operational sovereignty, and especially about data localization, right? So they want to make sure that data will stay in Europe at all time, even if, well, they need the help from a support engineer from Google Cloud because they have a problem, an issue in their environment, and they need to share some data with that person. But they want to be sure that even in that case, at all times, the data will remain in Europe. For that, we have what we call regional controls that brings residency assurances to our customers and also EU support. So exactly bringing this to our customers. Before going into before going into details on how it looks like with the SAP workload, I will take a step back and not only speak about sovereignty, but also about security. Because, well, you can have sovereignty requirements, but in the end, what matters is that you control your workload where your data reside, but you have also a secure workload that is not open to some mean people that would like to make use of your data. So basically, we offer with Google Cloud a secure platform that is secured by design with a zero trust approach. So Jessica mentioned it. It's one of our differentiators. And we believe we are strong in the space of security with our Google Cloud platform. And this is because we learned, like, since we launched Google Search and all our products that are used by billions of people, we learned a lot about how we can do something in a secure way and avoid any threats that could come to that platform. So we took that learning and built it also from scratch, like from the beginning, I mean, in Google Cloud. Now, that means that our infrastructure by design is secure. The foundations that you will use are secure. Moreover, we give you also a lot of tools that you can use to secure your own workloads on Google Cloud, right? And this is like from threat detection to incident response, red teaming, penetration tests, and things like that. And that's also tools that are available for you to secure your own workloads, and that we also infuse with AI. And meaning, for example, if I take the threat detection, well, we built in an AI assistant in the threat detection tool that will help you analyze the massive amount of data that typically come to this kind of tool to help you figure out, okay, what is the main threat, what is the highest risk, highest impact that I have on the main threats, and how can I solve them, right? What action do I need to take to like remove that threat? So this is an example on how we use AI and actually build AI in our different tools over the platform, and we have many examples for that. Now, if I come back to sovereignty and how SAP fits in with our sovereignty portfolio on Google Cloud. So I mentioned we have our Google Cloud with our secure platform, and what we did with our sovereignty offering is it's actually based on GCP, right, on our public cloud offering, so that you can benefit from the scale of our platform, from the security of our platform, and we built controls on that platform, on the services, so that we can ensure that the data will stay in Europe, and that support, when you need support, it will be given for any service you use on that platform from Europe. So from personnel that is located in Europe and that are EU persons. How it looks like is basically we create a zone in your GCP organization where you will be able to deploy your product, your SAP workloads, and all the services that you use in that zone in your organization will benefit from those controls, right? So how it works is actually pretty simple. It's from the console, you can deploy it, so no need to have a complex setup to deploy that. You can even automate it, and you can even migrate your workloads, your existing workloads to such an environment if you need it. So migrate your SAP workloads that are running currently on Google Cloud to a Sovereignty environment to benefit from those constraints and from the EU support. We are also happy to say that we soon, we actually already have RISE EU access for SAP on Google Cloud, and this is actually powered by this technology, by our Sovereignty offering, meaning that, actually that's what you get with SAP RISE EU access. Well, your data stays in Europe and you get support from the EU. So basically you can do it by yourself with your SAP on Google Cloud using our Sovereign Cloud, or you can use it. You can do it with SAP using SAP RISE EU access. Yes, with that, want to conclude our session, but invite you, if you have any questions, to come to speak to us directly at the end of the talk now. We also have a booth over there, Google Cloud booth, so you can come to us and to speak about Google Cloud, our Sovereignty offering, our SAP and Sovereignty, and all our data capabilities and AI capabilities we have in Google Cloud. We also have a lab session at 1:10 on Lab 1, where we go a bit more deeper into how actually, what does it mean actually to use Sovereignty with SAP, and what you can do with SAP and Google Cloud. Thank you for listening, and happy to see you in the lab at our booth.